Ever feel like Hollywood's golden age was all glamour and no substance? Think again. These 13 razor-sharp biopics and historical dramas brought real stories to life with aching beauty and documentary precision, long before epics ruled the box office. Ready to journey back in time and discover the most mind-blowing, historically accurate films of the 1930s through the 1950s? Let's dive into cinema history's best-kept secrets and see why they still deserve rediscovery today. The story of Louis Pasteur, 1936. Warner Brothers. Meticulously researched biopic chronicles Louis Pasteur's groundbreaking battle against ignorance and disease, tracing his journey from humble provincial chemist to world-renowned savior of public health. Paul Mooney delivers a performance of razor-sharp conviction, embodying Pasteur's obsessive dedication as he confronts skeptical colleagues, uncaring politicians, and the moral quandary of testing vaccines on live subjects. Director William Dieterle, fresh from the life of Emil Zola, drew on extensive consultations with the Pasteur Institute in Paris, securing photographs, lab notes, and even filming select laboratory scenes in a reconstructed 19th-century anamorphosis to preserve period authenticity. Screenwriters incorporated real letters between Pasteur and his protégés, weaving them into key courtroom and lecture scenes that underscore both the drama and the science. Despite a Depression-era budget of $818,000, the film grossed over $1.2 million in the U.S., proof that audiences crave substance alongside spectacle. Critics lauded Mooney's achingly beautiful portrayal and praised Jack Warner's gamble on a cerebral subject, remarking that the film makes microscopes as thrilling as mountaintop showdowns. At the 1937 Academy Awards, it captured Best Actor, Best Screenplay, and Best Art Direction, cementing its legacy as the template for every subsequent scientific biopic, even inspiring a resurgence of medical dramas in the 1940s. Generations later, the story of Louis Pasteur endures as a testament to Hollywood's power to illuminate the unsung heroes of history with both elegance and raw human drama. The Life of Emil Zola, 1937. Director William Dieterle and producer Hal B. Wallace assembled an all-star creative team to bring Zola's crusade to vivid life. Cinematographer Sol Polito bathed the Parisian streets and shadowed courtrooms in stark black and white contrasts, emphasizing the moral clarity at the heart of Zola's fight. Costume supervisor Ori Kelly painstakingly replicated Belle Epoque styles, from the swooping bustles of high society dames to the austere uniforms of military officers, while set decorators imported antique gas lamps and cafe tables from Europe to lend the streets of Lot to an unmistakable Parisian patina. Behind the scenes, screenwriters Abim Finkel and Tom Reed consulted Zola's personal correspondence housed at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France, weaving in lesser-known letters that underscored his evolving sense of justice. Descendants of Alfred Dreyfus reviewed each courtroom dialogue. Their input ensured that even minor legal parley, witness testimony, judicial rebukes, procedural objections, mirrored the original 1898 trial transcript. Composer Erich Korngold infused the score with somber strings and swelling brass, capturing both the elegance of Parisian salons and the mounting tension of a nation on the brink of upheaval. Upon its release, The Life of Emil Zola became Warner Brothers' prestige picture of 1937, earning glowing praise in both Hollywood and France. French critics lauded its unvarnished fidelity and screened it at the Sorbonne to spur renewed interest in Zola's works. At the Academy Awards, it carried off Best Picture and Best Screenplay, while Paul Mooney earned his second consecutive nomination for Best Actor. In subsequent decades, the film inspired countless political dramas, from the Red Scare thrillers of the 1950s to modern courtroom epics. Its combination of archival authenticity and roaring Hollywood style setting a template that filmmakers have returned to again and again. Young Mr. Lincoln, 1939. John Ford's Young Mr. Lincoln, 1939, stands as a pivotal moment in American biographical cinema, offering a lyrical and intimate portrayal of Abraham Lincoln's early life. Henry Fonda, in his first major dramatic role, delivers a performance of quiet intensity that captures Lincoln's intellect and compassion with remarkable authenticity. His portrayal extends beyond mere physical resemblance, delving deeply into Lincoln's inner world and showcasing the future president's wit, humility, and unyielding sense of justice. Fonda's Lincoln is both noble and approachable, embodying the character's awkward charm in social settings and his unwavering calmness in the courtroom, where he employs sharp reasoning and folksy wisdom to defend the accused. Filmed on location in the Springfield, Illinois suburbs and on Warner Bros. Meticulously recreated prairie vistas, Ford captures the raw, untamed frontier that so profoundly shaped Lincoln's character. The director's attention to detail is evident in every frame, from the authentic courthouse interiors, complete with period-accurate chalkboards and logbooks, to the texture of mud-spattered boots and the creak of wagon wheels. These elements, underscored by Bernard Herrmann's evocative score, create an immersive experience that transports viewers to 19th century America. The screenplay, penned by Lamar Trotti, masterfully intertwines folklore and historical fact. Anecdotes from Mary Todd Lincoln's letters infuse the dialogue with authenticity, particularly in scenes showcasing Lincoln's courtroom wit and strategic mind. Frontier songs drift through tavern scenes, grounding the drama in the oral traditions of the era and adding a layer of cultural richness. Ford's direction balances the mythic qualities of Americana with precise historical detail. The weight of Lincoln's stovepipe hat, the authenticity of legal documents, and the palpable tension in courtroom exchanges all contribute to a narrative that feels both grand and intimately human. Despite its modest $900,000 budget, young Mr. Lincoln achieved notable commercial success upon reissue and garnered widespread critical acclaim. Praised as achingly beautiful and hailed as a cornerstone for cinematic depictions of American icons, the film influenced generations of filmmakers, including Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese. Its innovative blend of narrative authenticity and artistic vision solidified its place in cinema history. The film's legacy endures not only as a portrait of Lincoln's formative years, but as a testament to Ford's directorial genius and Fonda's transformative performance, offering audiences a timeless glimpse into the values and spirit that defined an American legend. Sergeant York, 1941. Gary Cooper delivers a career-defining performance as Alvin C. York, the humble Tennessee farmer, whose moral convictions nearly kept him from answering the call of duty in World War I. Under Howard Hawks' crisp direction, the film opens on York's rustic mountain homestead, complete with actual Tennessee barns and local laborers as extras, before plunging into North European trenches recreated on Warner Bros. Backlot, with repurposed French barbed wire and authentic ammunition crates. Cooper spent weeks at Fort Benning, mastering the bolt-action Springfield rifle York favored, even practicing York's famously precise marksmanship under the supervision of Army drill sergeants. The screenplay, drawn from York's own letters and diary entries, highlights his inner turmoil, a devout pacifist who ultimately embraced service to protect his comrades. With a production cost of $1.7 million, a hefty sum for 1941, the film became Warner Bros. Top grosser of the year, earning over $15 million worldwide and turning York into a national icon, just as America teetered on the brink of another global conflict. Critics applauded Hawks' razor-sharp blend of spiritual questioning and battlefield spectacle, and Cooper won the Oscar for Best Actor, cementing Sergeant York as both a box-office juggernaut and a blueprint for character-driven war dramas that marry historical fidelity with Hollywood's grandest flourishes. Yankee Doodle Dandy, 1942. In this electrifying musical biopic, James Cagney sheds his tough guy image to embody Broadway legend George M. Cohan, the man who owned Broadway. Michael Curtiz assembles lavish vaudeville stages, hand-painted backdrops, custom rigging for Cohan's trademark flag routine, and a chorus of 300 dancers, meticulously recreated on Warner Bros. Stage 24. Cagney, determined to honor Cohan's athleticism, logged over 200 hours of tap and high kick rehearsals, insisting on performing every routine himself. Costume icon Edith Head designed over 80 period outfits, from glittering tuxedos to ribbon-trimmed sailor suits, investing $250,000 in wardrobe alone. Drawing on Cohan's autobiography and original sheet music, the script interweaves personal struggles, family friction, legal battles over song rights, and patriotic anthems like "You're a Grand Old Flag," shot in dynamic tracking takes that evoke live stage energy. Budgeted at $1.5 million, Yankee Doodle Dandy grossed $3.8 million domestically, its wartime release striking a chord with audiences craving homegrown heroism. Critics hailed its achingly beautiful synthesis of spectacle and sincerity, awarding Cagney the Oscar for Best Actor. Decades on, the film remains a masterclass in musical biography, proving that historical accuracy and razzle-dazzle can waltz hand in hand. Mrs. Minver, 1942. Mr. Minver, 1942, stands as Hollywood's most empathetic ode to British resilience during the Blitz. William Wyler directs with a sensitive touch, chronicling the trials of Kay Minver, Greer Garson, a middle-class English housewife whose kindness and intelligence shine through in the face of war. The film begins with trivial concerns, a fashionable hat, a new breed of rose, and gradually becomes more serious as the war encroaches. The Minivers, a well-to-do family in the London area, must cope with rationing, bombings, and personal loss. The script, vetted by the British Ministry of Information, incorporates real WRAF anecdotes and RAF fighter jet flyover footage shot at actual air bases. MGM's production team constructed an entire British village backlot, complete with charred facades, Anderson shelters, and genuine rubble imported from London's devastated East End, to recreate wartime authenticity. The film's black and white cinematography is conventional but effective, and the special effects are surprisingly good for the early 1940s. Its rhythm of trivial incidents and well-observed character moments seamlessly transitions to occasions of high peril. The film's propaganda is masterful yet subtle, so much so that even Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels acknowledged its power. President Roosevelt extolled its morale-boosting power, and Churchill screened it for war cabinet meetings. Critics lauded its mind-blowing fusion of intimate family drama and grand patriotic spectacle, and it won 6 Oscars, including Best Picture and Director. Even today, Mrs. Minver remains a vital cinematic document of home front heroism, a poignant reminder of the quiet courage of ordinary people in extraordinary times. The Song of Bernardet, 1943. Fox's reverent adaptation of Saint Bernadette, Subiro's 1858 visions in Lords weaves faith and fact with haunting elegance. Jennifer Jones, in her screen debut, delivers a haunting performance as the shy yet determined Bernadette, a role drawn from the young visionary's memoirs and contemporary medical reports on her visions. Director Henry King and the art department constructed a full-scale grotto set on stage 2, complete with a continuously flowing spring, whose mineral composition was analyzed by chemists to match the actual Lourdes water. Costume designers sourced 19th-century peasant fabrics imported from France, while local dialect coaches ensured Jones's accent rang true to the Haute-Pyrénées region. The film's achingly beautiful cinematography, achieved through soft-focus lenses, evokes a sense of the miraculous. The narrative follows Bernadette's visions of the Virgin Mary, and the skepticism she faces from the local clergy and authorities. The film's exploration of faith and doubt is both profound and accessible, making it a touchstone for religious cinema. With a hefty $2 million budget, the film took in $4.5 million worldwide, a remarkable feat for a devotional drama during wartime. Critics praised Jones's Oscar-winning performance for its sincerity and restraint, and the film has inspired pilgrimages and influenced later hagiographies with its unflinching blend of authenticity and cinematic grace. Wilson, 1944. MGM's epic chronicle of President Woodrow Wilson stands as the studio's most ambitious biopic of the Golden Age. Alexander Knox's portrayals, guided by former Wilson aides on set, captured the president's distinctive lisp, scholarly demeanor, and visionary oratory. Art director Cedric Gibbons masterminded a brick-for-brick recreation of the U.S. Capitol Rotunda on Stage 18, employing artisans who studied turn-of-the-century blueprints. Screenwriters delved into Wilson's personal correspondence at Princeton to dramatize landmark events, from the founding of the Federal Reserve to the Paris Peace Conference, interweaving verbatim speeches to underscore political stakes. Though the $4.5 million budget ballooned, audiences proved ambivalent. It grossed only $2.6 million domestically. Still, the film garnered 10 Academy Award nominations, winning for Best Art Direction and Score. Modern historians applaud Wilson for its granular attention to policy debates and its courage in depicting the Senate's rejection of the League of Nations. With its blend of pageantry and political detail, Wilson remains an unparalleled study of power, principle, and the human cost of idealism. The Best Years of Our Lives, 1946. William Wyler's landmark drama confronts the raw aftermath of World War II, following three veterans as they re-enter Boone City's everyday routines. Casting real servicemen, including double amputee Harold Russell, imbues the film with documentary authenticity. Russell's unvarnished portrayal earned him both a competitive and an honorary Oscar. Filmed on location in small-town America, the production enlisted actual VA hospitals and factory floors, capturing authentic ration card queues and Victory Garden plantings. The screenplay, drawn from McKinley Cantor's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, weaves personal struggles, lost limbs, haunted dreams, marital tensions, into a broader tapestry of national readjustment. Budgeted at $2.6 million, it struck a chord with audiences, grossing $14.5 million domestically and sweeping 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Director. Critics hailed its mind-blowing mix of social realism and cinematic craft, noting Wyler's ability to balance individual heartbreak with sweeping cultural commentary. Decades on, The Best Years of Our Lives endures as the definitive portrayal of post-war America's challenges and a template for every film about veterans' return from combat. Miracle on 34th Street, 1947. Miracle on 34th Street, 1947. Is more than just a holiday favorite. It is a RKO classic that deftly marries courtroom drama with Christmas wonder. Edmund Gwenn's gentle grandfatherly portrayal of Kris Kringle anchors the film. Gwenn, who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role, delivers a performance of quiet intensity and heartfelt warmth. His every gesture was informed by interviews with Macy's Holiday Parade veterans, lending authenticity to his portrayal of Santa Claus. The film's production design team, led by Carol Clark, meticulously recreated the Thanksgiving Day parade on sound stages, assembling helium balloons, period floats, and hundreds of costumed marchers. Art directors consulted Macy's archives to create blueprint-perfect replicas of the parade's elements. The climactic trial scene is a masterstroke of legal authenticity and festive magic. Based on real New York Supreme Court transcripts, it turns postal regulations into a profound debate on belief and evidence. The film's director, George Seaton, skillfully balances the courtroom rigor with the whimsical spirit of Christmas. With a lean $600,000 budget, the film earned $2.7 million, rescuing RKO from financial peril. Critics praised its achingly beautiful blend of legal authenticity and festive magic. Gwenn's Oscar for Best Supporting Actor was a testament to his insistence on union wages for every Santa, reflecting the film's commitment to fairness and justice. The film's narrative follows Kris Kringle, a man who believes he is the real Santa Claus. Hired as a replacement for a drunken Santa in Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, Chris's genuine passion and goodwill make him a perfect fit for the role. His unconventional yet effective technique of directing shoppers to other stores that sell the exact toys children want unexpectedly boosts Macy's sales. However, his actions draw the skepticism of Doris Walker, a divorced mother who has raised her daughter Susan to be pragmatic and disbelieving in Santa Claus. As Kris bonds with Susan, he begins to restore her faith in Santa and the magic of Christmas. The film's exploration of belief and doubt is both profound and accessible. It gently critiques the commercialization of the holiday, showing how corporate interests can overshadow the true meaning of Christmas. In contrast, Kris Kringle embodies the selfless joy of giving, kindness, and the importance of preserving childhood innocence. The relationship between Kris and young Susan is one of the film's emotional highlights. Doris, initially cynical about Santa Claus, learns the importance of hope, while Susan begins to understand the value of faith and love over material possessions. The film's black and white cinematography enhances its nostalgic charm. The soft lighting, particularly in scenes set around Macy's department store and during the courtroom trial, gives the film a warm, inviting feel. The visuals are timeless, helping to create a world where the magic of Christmas feels both real and attainable. Miracle on 34th Street has become a cornerstone of Christmas cinema, earning its place as one of the most beloved holiday films of all time. Its ability to inspire and evoke feelings of hope, joy, and nostalgia makes it a film that never loses its charm. 75 years later, Miracle on 34th Street remains an annual staple. Its nuanced balance of fact and folklore, inspiring remakes, and countless holiday dramas that strive to recapture its blend of heart and logic. 12 O'Clock High, 1949. 20th Century Fox's visceral war drama, 12 O'Clock High thrusts viewers into the perilous skies of the 8th Air Force, chronicling Brigadier General Frank Savage's battle to restore his bomber group's morale. Filmed partly at RAF bases in England, the production secured 35 authentic B-17 flying fortresses, with cockpit-mounted cameras filming real bombing runs and flak bursts. Peck's commitment ran deep. He trained as a bombardier, flying in combat-style missions for reference footage, and worked alongside actual crew members to capture the tense camaraderie of airmen. The screenplay, adapted from William Wyler's own wartime notes, probes Savage's inner conflict. His leadership drives success, yet fractures his own spirit. Though its $2 million budget was substantial, the film grossed $6.5 million globally and won Oscars for supporting actor, Dean Jagger, and cinematography. Critics lauded its mind-blowing realism and psychological depth, cementing 12 O'Clock High as the gold standard for aerial dramas and influencing generations of filmmakers in their quest to portray combat with unflinching honesty. The film begins in 1949, where American attorney and former U.S. Army Air Forces officer Harvey Stovall, Dean Jagger, is vacationing in Great Britain. He spots a familiar Toby jug in an English antique shop and learns it came from Archbury, an airfield where Stovall served during World War II. Stovall buys the jug and bicycles out to an abandoned airfield, the former U.S. AAF station Archbury, where he served with the 918th Bomb Group during World War II. The story then flashes back to USAAF Archbury, circa 1942. Colonel Keith Davenport, Gary Merrill, is the commander of the 918th Heavy Bombardment Group, a Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress unit based at the fictional USAAF Archbury. Having recently arrived and being thrown into action, the 918th has suffered heavy losses, gaining the reputation as a hard luck group suffering from poor morale. After a particularly disastrous mission, Group Commander Colonel Keith Davenport appears exhausted and demoralized. His defeatist attitude spreads to other senior leaders of the group, including his air exec, Lieutenant Colonel Ben Gately. Davenport is troubled by his losses and confronts his friend, Brigadier General Frank Savage, Gregory Peck, the A3, Assistant Chief of Staff for Operations, of 8th Bomber Command. Savage believes that Davenport has become emotionally too close to his men and may no longer be fit to command. The film's direction by Henry King is masterful, balancing the intense combat sequences with the psychological drama unfolding within the group. The cinematography by Leon Shamroy captures the harrowing aerial battles and the stark realities of war. The screenplay, written by Cy Bartlett and Bernie Lay Jr., delves into the complexities of leadership and the toll it takes on those who must make difficult decisions in the face of adversity. The film's exploration of the inner conflict of Brigadier General Frank Savage is particularly poignant, as he struggles to maintain the discipline and morale of his men while grappling with his own doubts and fears. His journey from being an outsider to a respected leader is portrayed with nuance and depth. The Desert Fox, The Story of Rommel, 1951. Fox's daring 1951 biopic ventured into uncharted territory by portraying Field Marshal Erwin Rommel not as a faceless enemy, but as a strategist torn between duty and conscience. James Mason immersed himself in Rommel's life, studying wartime dispatches, diary excerpts, and transcripts of his post-war interviews to capture the commander's measured speech, clipped German accent, and penchant for battlefield improvisation. Director Henry Hathaway recreated the North African campaign on California's Mojave Desert, shipping in captured German Panzer IV tanks, authentic Afrika Korps uniforms, and even salvaged sandbags from European battlefields to lend the arid dunes an unvarnished realism. The screenplay, crafted by Robert Pyrosh and Norman Riley Rain, was vetted by Allied historians and former intelligence officers to ensure every tactical map, radio protocol, and officer's salute rang true. Key scenes depict Rommel poring over intercepted orders by the glow of a lantern, his furrowed brow betraying the moral dilemma of serving a regime he quietly despised. Cinematographer Harry Stradling Sr. alternated sun-bleached wide shots of tank columns with tight medium shots that captured Mason's subtle shifts, from steely resolve to weary introspection, while composer Cyril J. Mockridge's spare score underscored the isolation of command. Despite its modest $1.3 million budget, The Desert Fox earned $2.2 million at the box office and garnered an Academy Award nomination for Best Cinematography. Critics praised its achingly beautiful balance of action and character study, noting that Mason's portrayal transcended propaganda to reveal a man caught between loyalty and moral duty. Its nuanced approach paved the way for modern war films that resist black and white heroism, inspiring later classics like Patton and A Bridge Too Far to explore the humanity lurking behind military legend. Young Bess, 1953, MGM's sumptuous Tudor epic ventures beyond mere court intrigue to chart Elizabeth Tudor's turbulent adolescence with unprecedented fidelity. Scriptwriters John Meehan and Catherine Albert drew heavily on Margaret Irwin's acclaimed Young Bess novels and pored over Elizabeth's surviving letters, many penned in her own hand, to recreate the Queen's early passions and political awakening. Jean Simmons devoted weeks to dialect coaching and paleography lessons, learning to decipher 16th-century scripts so that her recitals of Elizabeth's correspondence with Lord Robert Dudley rang with authentic intimacy. Stuart Granger similarly immersed himself in period conduct, attending private etiquette sessions led by descendants of Tudor courtiers, ensuring every curtsy, handshake, and dance step mirrored the rigid hierarchy of Elizabethan society. On Studio 4, art director Cedric Gibbons reconstructed Hampton Court's Great Hall and Privy Garden down to the last carved balustrade and leaded window pane, employing artisans who studied original Tudor blueprints in the British Museum. Irene Sheriff's wardrobe team spun more than 3,500 yards of silk and brocade, producing 120 custom gowns, each hand-embroidered with historically accurate motifs like Tudor roses and ermine trim. Technicolor cinematographer Robert J. Plank bathed candlelit chambers in warm amber tones, contrasting them with cold dawn scenes in the Tower of London, heightening the film's emotional stakes. Herbert Stothart's lush orchestral score wove Tudor ballads into its leitmotifs, underscoring Elizabeth's journey from sheltered princess to resolute monarch. Edited by John D. Dunning, the film balances sweeping ceremonial tableau with quiet character moments. Her first encounter with Dudley in a shaded courtyard, the stolen glance that speaks volumes. Budgeted at $2 million, Young Bess amassed $4.7 million worldwide, earning 2 Oscar nominations for costume design and art direction. Critics hailed it as an opulent portrait that never sacrifices intimacy for spectacle, and its exacting blend of scholarship and romance set the standard for later royal biographies such as Anne of the Thousand Days and Mary, Queen of Scots. Tonight, its legacy endures as a testament to Hollywood's ability to turn archival research into gilded drama. From the Pasteur Institute labs to the desert sands of North Africa, these 13 Golden Age treasures prove that Hollywood's classic era married historical fidelity with cinematic flair. Which film surprised you with its commitment to real-life detail? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Golden Age Classics, ring that bell icon, and share this journey with fellow cinephiles. More timeless treasures await. See you in the next deep dive into forgotten cinematic gold.